Surprise.
Hi.
Hope you don't mind I let myself in.
Yeah, I do. Get out. Of course I don't mind. What I mind is that I've been worried sick about you. How you doing?
Kirk, I went over and I told Mama and Cal about us, and she's not happy.
Yeah, I know. I'll explain later. But I don't get why you put yourself through that. I thought you didn't want them to know.
Well, I changed my mind. Iva broke up with you, and you and I don't have anything to feel guilty about.
And that's exactly what I told you the first night we spent together,
I know,
right?
but it didn't sink in till this afternoon.
Better late than never. What exactly changed your mind?
I'll tell you in a minute. Could I please just have a hug first?
Dear Hal, I know you can't forgive me, and I don't blame you because I can't forgive myself. I would do anything to save our marriage, but I can't stay here knowing how you feel. By the time you read this letter, I will have left Oakdale. The only reason I didn't tell you I knew Adam was your son and not Tom's was because I was so desperate not to lose you, and so afraid that I would. It's ironic because now I've lost you anyway, just as I've lost Paul. And it's not Margot's fault, or Emily's fault. I can't even blame James anymore. It's all my fault. I drove you and Paul away with my possessiveness and my lack of trust in your love for me. I went by Lila's this afternoon, hoping we could talk things out. But when I looked in the window, I saw you and Margot with Adam looking so happy together. And suddenly I felt like a complete outsider, an intruder, and I knew I had no right to be a part of your life anymore. It's nothing you've done, Hal. I've brought it all on myself, and it's the same with Paul. I know writing this letter is the coward's way out. I know I should have said these things to you in person, but I love you too much to bear seeing the same disappointment in your eyes again that I saw earlier. I'm sorry for the mess I've made of everything, for the way I've destroyed what should have been a wonderful marriage, and especially for the way I've destroyed your love for me. Because I know that love was as genuine and honest as everything else about you. In my absence, Jessica has power of attorney to handle all my business and legal affairs. Dick Wolf will be running BRO, or should I say what's left of BRO. Please don't try to find me. And please, be happy. Knowing that you'll be better off without me is the only thing that's given me the courage to do this. I've left another letter for Paul. Goodbye, my darling. Barbara.
Adam has to be our #1 concern in all this.
Hal is very aware of that.
Oh, good. Let's head downstairs. My dad needs some cheering up. This trip to Chicago that Kim has made with John is not sitting well with him.
Yeah, well, Bob's got to understand that Kim is just worried about Andy.
It's not her concern for Andy, honey. It's her traveling companion. Kim and John share a certain bond because of Andy, and that's what, let's just go down, huh?
Tom, I know that this is hard for you, Hal and me. But I do believe that now that everything's out in the open between Hal and Barbara, that they'll resolve things. Their relationship will be much less strained. It's going to be easier for all of us.
Yeah, I hope so.
Margot? Oh, excuse me, honey. Hal's on the phone. He says it's very important.
Thanks, Mom.
Hey, Adam. Would you like to come downstairs and have dessert with us? Yeah? Would you like that?
Hal? What? What's the matter? You sound...
Listen, I took your advice. I came home. I thought I'd try to talk things out with Barbara. Margot, she's not here. She left me a letter. She's gone.
Gone? Where?
I don't know, but from the sound of the letter, I don't think she's coming back.
As the world turns.
Margot, what's going on?
No, Hal, I can't believe that Barbara would... Well, maybe you just misunderstood and... Okay, yeah, fine. I'll be right there. Barbara left Hal.
What?
I can't believe what?
Yeah, I can't believe it either, but Hal's pretty freaked out. I told him I'd be right over.
Well, fine, I'll go with you.
No, Tom, really, there's no reason for you to.
Yes, there is. This concerns all of us. Lila, do you mind if we leave Adam with you for a couple more hours? We'll come
No,
later.
that's fine. That's
Great, thanks, Mama. Honey, Sweet Pea, Mommy and Daddy are gonna go now. We'll be back real soon, okay? Gotta go see Hal because he's in trouble. And he needs our support.
Thanks. So I went over to Ivis to talk to her, to tell her I was going to leave Walsh and Oakdale. I was ready to uproot my life to spare her feelings. She got so mad at me. She told me that she wanted me to go over and tell Mama what was going on because she was sick and tired of covering for me because I felt too guilty to deal with it. And I started thinking, why should I feel guilty about this? I mean, she broke up with you. We didn't do this intentionally to hurt her. And I care about you very much, and I am sick and tired of apologizing for it. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right.
Right, that's why I went over to tell Mama. I said I'm gonna tell her for the better or the worse of it. I don't know.
Well, that still doesn't explain where the hell you've been for the last few hours.
I went over to the farm to get some more of my things, and then I went over to the Lakeview Towers. Does that offer still stand to move in here?
You know it does.
Good, because all my stuff's in your bedroom.
I started to read this thing, and I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe she did it.
Well, did she say where she was going?
Here, read it for yourself.
No, Hal, I really don't.
Margot, go on. There's nothing in there that you don't know already, believe me.
I'm sure Barbara just had to get away and sort some things out. She'll be back in a couple of days. She's just having an emotional reaction to an argument you guys had.
No, I don't think so, Tom. It is a very emotional letter, but it's also very serious, and it's very final. Well, come on, what do you think?
Well,
Be straight with me, Margot.
I think she was clearly very, very upset when she wrote
All
this.
right, listen, did you read the part where she says that she went over to your mother's and she saw us there with Adam, all happy together, and she felt like an intruder?
Yeah.
It's like that's what made her run, not just the argument.
Well, you just call me tomorrow after you've had your meeting with the agent and let me know how things went, okay? Bye-bye. That was, Julie. She's calling me from L.A., and, she and Caleb are having a wonderful time. What is it? You've shaved your mustache. That's what it is. Oh, it looks wonderful.
Thank you.
So how did the interview go with, Casey?
Oh, quite well. As a matter of fact, I think the first edition of Oakdale magazine will be a knockout, if I do say so myself.
That is if Lucinda doesn't beat you to the punch and come out with Inside Oakdale first.
Oh, Shanna, now bite your tongue on that. Now, where's Colin? Is he going to be joining you for dinner?
I bloody well hope not.
No, he won't be joining us. He said he wanted to spend the evening alone. He seems so down.
Oh.
Probably with some woman, some new woman that he's become obsessed with, and she probably has lots of money.
Duncan, that's not very nice. I mean, he doesn't show it to you, but he's really upset about the divorce, and he blames himself for the whole thing.
Good evening.
That's probably right. Evening.
Oh, hey.
Shannon.
Thank you, so do you.
Listen, would you two care to join us for dinner?
What's Jess?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Good.
Well, choose a table, any table.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you go on ahead. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Lisa, have you talked to Barbara today?
I talked with her this afternoon. She and Hal really seem to have a serious problem.
Yeah, I know all about it. I just hope she's okay. Hi. How are you?
Thank you.
Good evening. I will talk to you later.
Well, all right.
Thank
What are you doing here? I thought you were having dinner with Lila and Casey.
Well, we had an early dinner, but Tom and Margot had to go over to Hal's, so I decided...
Wait a minute. Excuse me, but why did they have to go over to Hal's?
Well, I don't know all the details, but apparently Hal got home, there was a letter from Barbara. She's gone.
She's gone where?
I don't know. Tom said he'd call me here if he found out what was going on. Seems like there's one crisis after another these days.
Have you heard from Kim since she got to Chicago?
No, not yet.
Well, I just talked to Julie, and she's in California, and she's having such a wonderful time and sounded so excited. I didn't want to tell her that maybe Andy is having a problem. She'd just feel that she was responsible. And of course, she's not responsible at all.
Of course she's not. Try telling John that.
Excuse me? My name is Dixon, Dr. John Dixon. You the gentleman I talked to earlier on the telephone?
No, it must have been the day clerk, Doctor.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm looking for my son. His name is Andrew. Andrew Dixon.
This is his picture.
The day clerk told me that he was registered here, but that he checked out yesterday.
Yeah, I vaguely remember him.
I see. I was hoping that perhaps he had left a forwarding address or a telephone number where he might be reached, or he might have asked someone around here that could have recommended another hotel to him.
He didn't ask me, but I could check with the girl in the office.
Oh, thank you very much. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, John, we're never going to find him this way.
No, come on, don't say that. Maybe we will, maybe we will. I mean, maybe he did ask someone around here to
Sorry,
advise him of a...
she doesn't remember either.
I see. Okay, well, listen, and if you do remember, or one of the staff members remembers, or something like that, here's my card. I've written the telephone number of the motel where we'll be staying in town. If you give me a call, I'd appreciate it. There's a bar across the way. Why don't we go in and talk to the bartender? Maybe he talked with you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Lowe. Fred Lowe.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Dixon.
Yes.
How old is your son?
He's 19. What?
No reason. I hope you find him.
Thanks.
Hello, Sam. It's Fred. Listen, there's a Dr. and Mrs. Dixon on the way over to the bar to talk to you. They're looking for their son. Right. The kid's not of legal drinking age. So tell them you never served him, you never saw him, period. Last thing we need is to lose our license. Okay. Thanks, Sam. Dixon.
I feel really disappointed. I know you'd had a bit too much to drink when we went back to your room. But if you don't remember me, then it must not have been as special for you as it was for me.
Hi, Paul. It's Andy.
Oh, man, am I glad to hear from you. Are you all right?
Yeah, sure, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, you didn't sound fine this morning. Look, tell me where you are.
I can't. I need to be alone.
All right, fine. Would you at least call your AA sponsor and talk? Just talk.
Yeah, maybe. Look, something really weird happened to me, and I can't get it out of my head. Listen, I got a telephone call from a girl. She said that she'd been with me the night before in my hotel room. And I blacked out, Paul. My mind's a total blank. I don't remember anything about that night or her.
Maybe it's some kind of practical joke or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be, right? I mean, I had a couple drinks, but I would have remembered if I had spent the night with her. right?
Andy, you must have had a lot more than a couple of drinks. Look, just tell me where you are, please.
No, I can't. Because Mom and Dad would ask you, and I don't want you to have to lie for me.
Well, good, because I wouldn't lie for you. That's not gonna help the situation. I already told your parents about your phone call this morning. In fact, they're in Chicago right now looking for you, and... Andy! Andy!
Some friend! Yes.
Oh, Andy, it's Fred Lowe down at the front desk. I thought you'd want to know. Your parents were just here. I didn't tell them anything. They believe you checked out yesterday. They've headed over to the bar to talk to Sam, but he knows not to say anything either.
Fred, thank you. I really appreciate this. I'll make it worth your while.
Oh, you have a piece of mail down here.
Mail for me? Nobody knows I'm here, though.
Well, somebody does. They even put your room number on your envelope.
Is there any return address?
Hold on. No return address, but it's postmarked Chicago, and well, it looks like a woman's handwriting.
I wonder when Duncan's article's gonna come out on the newsstands. You know, he said that you were just terrific, very inspirational, and you thought you didn't have anything to say, huh?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to talk to Duncan. I know him. It's another thing to talk to a bunch of guys in a VA hospital. I think I'm gonna back out.
But Casey, they... Okay. Whatever you think is best.
It's gonna be a bunch of guys sitting around in wheelchairs, some of them younger than me, and they're gonna be sitting there listening to me say a bunch of crap about you get used to it, it gets easier. It doesn't get any easier, and I don't get used to it, and I don't have any answers for anybody.
Okay. Listen, why don't I go upstairs and put Katie to bed, and then come downstairs?
You can put me to bed.
Well, actually, I had something a little more interesting in mind.
Uh-oh. Maybe I should get the gorilla mask down and chase you around in my chair.
I don't need anything but you waiting for me.
Come here once, why don't you, huh? Oh, I wish... Hey, Kate, why don't you say goodnight to me?
Oh, here you. Come on. Daddy wants to say goodnight, okay? You want to say goodnight?
Good night, baby.
Night night?
Night-night.
Be right back.
Not going anywhere.
My dearest Paul, I wanted to tell you all the things I'm about to write in person. That's why I came to your room this afternoon. But since you weren't ready to talk, and I don't blame you, I'm writing you this letter instead. I love you so much, honey. But instead of supporting you in the choices you've made and respecting your feelings and your wishes time and time again, I've tried to direct your life to suit my wishes and my needs. I was so scared of losing you. First to James, then to Emily. I hung on to you so tightly I nearly suffocated you. And you've matured into a strong, caring, sensitive young man. But now I'm finally having to accept the cold fact that you've become the person that you are in spite of me. Not because of me. And that's a very painful truth for a mother to face. my relationship with Hal is over. He'll explain it all to you. I'm going away now to face the demons that have been driving me and try to make some changes, big changes. I know I've got my work cut out for me, but I hope and I pray that someday, when I'm ready to face you again, you'll give me the chance to make up for all my many mistakes. And you and I can pick up the pieces and try to rebuild a relationship. For the first time, Paul, I really understand why you had to go off on your own to find out who you are. Because now I have to do the same thing. I'm so truly proud of you. And all I want now is for you to be happy and at peace with yourself. Perhaps it will be easier for you to do that if I'm not around to interfere. I hope so. My love, forever. Your mom.
Did she say anything about where she went, Paul?
If only I talked to her when she came by my room today.
Paul, she's gonna come back.
No, I don't think so, Tom.
I think she just needs some time on her own.
Barbara?
No, Hal, it's Jessica. I got a message you called?
Yeah, Barbara's gone. But then you already know that since she gave you power of attorney, which means that you must know how to reach her, right, Jess? Jessica, you have got to tell me where my wife is so I can talk to her and we can straighten this whole mess out.
Mr. Lowe.
Oh, Dr. Dixon, is there anything else I can help you with?
I think there is. Perhaps you could have a word with your bartender in there. I think he's withholding information from us.
Excuse me?
Oh, the thing is, after we spoke to you, we went in and showed the picture of our son to your bartender, and he claims he's never seen him. But both Dr. Dixon and I felt that when he was looking at the picture, it seemed almost as if there, I don't know, was a glimmer of recognition.
Mrs. Dixon.
No, I'm sorry. I'm Mrs. Hughes.
Well, a lot of students stay in this hotel and congregate in our bar. Perhaps your son reminded Sam of someone he had seen earlier. But I can assure you, your son wouldn't have been served if he's a minor. I suggest you try some of the other hotels in the neighborhood. I mean, I've got your number, and if your son should come back for any reason, or if anybody on the day shift remembers anything about him, I'll give you a call. Okay?
Well, all right. Thank you very much. Now what?
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Well, now this is a little better than the last time I tried to get you here to have a meal.
No kidding. I feel happy when I'm with you.
Yeah? Happy. What a concept.
Oh, don't go in your bedroom. It's a complete mess. I gotta put the clothes away. I'm sorry. It's Kirk, I know this is gonna sound like I'm still feeling guilty, but I'm not. I think it would be a good idea if we don't tell my family that I'm living here. I mean, they're gonna give us some flack, and I just think we should try to enjoy each other for once.
Fine with me. I don't need any more flack today. Saw Jared at the hospital. He's still painting me as the big bad wolf. He's got things just a little bit distorted, you know?
Yeah, I ran into him at Lily's.
I tried to straighten him out, but he refused to listen to me, and I'm just afraid that he's gonna spread the gospel to Lenore. I don't know if she's gonna believe him, but...
I have a good idea.
What?
Why don't you fly up to Maine this weekend and tell her yourself? You haven't had any time with your kids. You need to spend some time with your kids.
I know, but I just don't want to leave you right now.
Oh, way, huh? We need a serious talk.
Oh, no, I've been talking seriously with people all day.
Kirk,
All right.
I don't want you rearranging your life for me.
I'm not.
I'm not ready for any kind of commitment.
Snyder, don't flatter yourself. I just want us to be together, to enjoy being together, and to see what happens, okay? Deal?
Okay.
But since you brought it up, we can't ignore the possibility that maybe down the road, if things keep working out between us, we may have to deal with some kind of a commitment.
Well, if and when we have to deal with a commitment, then we will. I just don't want to label our relationship. I don't want us giving each other unrealistic expectations. I want to do what you said.
All right.
All right? I want to just be in the moment and see what happens and...
Fine.
Yeah.
That was easy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I an amenable guy or what?
Yeah, you're an amenable... Amenable guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know why I'm that way?
Why?
Because I have everything that I want in the world right now. And I've got her in this room. And I've got her all to myself. And I've got her all night. And I hope many nights to come.
If you're lucky.
Fred. Oh. Hi, Andy. Close call earlier.
Yeah, no kidding. Listen, thanks a lot for covering for me, okay?
Well, that was our arrangement. And I'm a man of my word.
Well, thanks just the same. Listen, so what's this about a letter you have for me?
Right here. Don't know who it's from, but somebody knows you're here.
I feel strange writing after the way I hung up on you this morning. But I just couldn't leave Chicago without saying some sort of goodbye.
Kid is still not back at the motel.
Oh, Bob, she's probably having dinner with Johnny.
Huh.
Wish we'd hear from Tom. Let us know what's going on with Hal.
How the bloody hell did you find out about Oakdale Magazine?
Sorry, Duncan, I can't reveal my sources.
Seems you're not the only one with deep, dark secrets, my love.
I swear, Blake, if you mention a word of this to anyone...
To listen in, Kurt? Look, after the way they treated me when I left, I'm not about to do anything that's going to give them an edge. Believe me, my lips are sealed. But as I was saying, launching a new magazine takes a monumental PR effort, and I really think that M&A could be of enormous help to you and Lisa.
Well, you do?
Do you? Yes. As a matter of fact, I've put together a few ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we could have a meeting. I could run them by you.
Well, I'll check with Lisa and see what her schedule's like. Sounds like a good idea.
Great.
Looks like Hal hasn't found Barbara yet.
What are you talking about?
Oh, well, I guess I really shouldn't go into it, but Hal obviously isn't keeping it a secret.
And neither of Barbara's letters said anything about where she's going or when she's going to come back. In fact, they both made it sound like she's never going to come back.
Oh, now, Hal, I'm
Lisa,
sure that's...
listen, I know you spoke to her at Fashions this afternoon. Did she say anything to you that could give us a clue about where she's going?
No, I'm sorry she didn't. Honestly, I had no idea that she was just going to pick up and leave like this.
Well, it's the same with me when I saw her at the hospital this afternoon. Granted, she was upset. What's Barbara doing at Memorial? She had an appointment to see Audrey Samuels.
Yeah, Dr. Samuels called Fashions and said for her to meet her, that it was very important.
About what?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
You know, Shannon might know. She had an appointment to see Samuels right before Barbara.
Shannon, I understand that you saw Barbara at Memorial just before she went in to see Dr. Samuels.
Yeah.
Did she say anything about where she was going after that?
No, she didn't.
I take it she hasn't called or you haven't heard?
I'd like to speak to you alone, please. Excuse us.
Sure.
Listen, Jessica, I understand what you said on the phone about lawyer-client confidentiality.
Hal, I'm sorry, but I
Damn
don't...
it. Jessica, this is my wife we're talking about, not some client. Look, I'm sorry. But you see, Barbara seriously misinterpreted some things. She got some wrong impressions. That's why she left. Now, I know if I could just talk to her, if I had a chance to explain, she'd want to come back.
Hal, listen, what I was going to say is that I don't know where Barbara is. She hasn't told me anything either. She left it that she would contact me, and of course, I will tell her that you are worried about her and urge her to get in touch with you. That's the best I can do.
Thanks, Jess.
Listen, Hal, maybe this isn't the best time for this, but Barbara instructed me to transfer her share of the house to you. She thought maybe you'd want to sell it, and she realized you couldn't do it as long as her name was on the deed.
Damn it, Jessica. I don't care about the house. I want my wife back. I'll call Dr. Samuels. Maybe she knows something.
Jess?
Hi, Paul. I'm sorry. I don't know where your mom is.
Don't you at least know how long she's gonna be away?
No, I don't, but in the event that she doesn't come back to Oakdale, she wants you to have her shares of Barbara Ryan Originals.
Oh, I just should have seen this coming. When I talked with Barbara this afternoon, she was off the wall. That's why I called Hal. Apparently, Barbara went over to Lila. She wanted to talk to Hal. And she looked in the window and she saw you and Hal playing with Adam.
Yeah, I know. She told Hal in her letter.
Oh, well, just seeing the three of you together like that, that seemed to hurt her deeply.
Paul, what did Jess say?
She doesn't know where Mom is. Bob, listen, I forgot to mention with all that's been going on, Andy called right before Hal did, and he still wouldn't tell me where he was.
How did he sound?
Well, he sounded sober and coherent, but other than that, not too great. I tried to convince him to call his AA sponsor, but I don't think I got through to him. And when I told him that Aunt Kim and John were on their way to Chicago to look for him, he got really ticked off and hung up.
Oh, that's all Kim needs to hear right now.
Any luck? No, Dr. Samuels is in delivery. They'll have her call as soon as she gets out.
Damn it, I hate this feeling. Mom alone in some strange place? I feel so helpless.
You and me both, pal. You and me both.
Don't you realize that if you had told me, I would have forgiven you if you just trusted me? How have you been able to spend all these months in my bed with this lie between us? How can I forgive you now with all the talk of honesty between us?
You forgave Margot.
I am not married to Margot. I feel like everything in this house is a lie.
No, no.
Everything that we've shared is a
No,
lie.
it's not. I love you so much. You were my whole life. You've got to believe that.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry you and Sean had to cut your trip short. Have you heard anything more about his sister? No, John and I went to the hotel where Andy's been staying, but they didn't have any idea where he might be now. We're going to follow some more leads tomorrow, so keep your fingers crossed. Yeah. Listen, honey, when your dad gets home, would you tell him I got his messages and that I'm back at the motel? I'd like to hear from him. Okay. Oh, yes, you give that Christopher hugs and kisses from Mommy. Okay, sweetheart. I will. Bye-bye. Who's there?
John?
Did you hear anything?
No, I haven't. I wish I had. I just wanted some company. You mind?
No, I'm glad to have company myself.
You get through to Bob?
No, still not home.
Listen, if we don't find Andrew by tomorrow, I think it'd be a good idea for you to go back. I'll carry this thing on my own. I know this trip is causing waves between you and Bob.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. That's just between Bob and me, and we'll handle it. I tell you the truth. The most important thing to me right now is just to find Andy. Oh, John, I'm so afraid that he's in trouble out there all alone.
Well, they won't be for long. We're gonna find him, don't worry.
Well, I
We're
mean,
gonna give him some help.
this city is so big. He could be anywhere. I mean, the odds are against us.
I don't care what the odds are. I found Duke in Seattle when Lucinda was doing her best to prevent me from doing it. We're gonna find Andy now.
You are the most incredible, beautiful, sexy woman I have ever known. And I'm so grateful that I roped you into marrying me.
I feel pretty lucky.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I know you must have some doubts. You must.
I don't. Casey. What do I have to do to make you to believe that? Casey.
Okay, I got something I gotta say. Because it's been bugging me for a long time, and it really bothers me when we're in bed.
Okay. Just say it, honey. Say it.
I just want to hold you so bad, and I can't. And it makes me feel terrible. It hurts. It hurts that I can't do it. And I know you must be feeling the same thing, and I just want to show you how much I love you, but
Stop it. There's all kinds of ways to hold a person. You show me that. And not just when you're in bed. I can feel you all the time.
I love you so much, Lai.
That's great, Caleb. Catch some rays out there for me, okay? I told you, I don't know where Ellie is. I'll see her tomorrow at work. I'll tell her you called, all right? Good. Give my best to Julie. Bye.
I can't do this. I feel like I'm making you lie to Caleb.
You're not making me do anything. It's just not the way to handle it. When he comes back, we'll sit him down. We'll explain everything to him. It'll be fine. I did want to say something to him about Julie, though.
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind,
They
too.
sounded so happy together. I just didn't want to burst their bubble. The way I don't want anybody to burst our bubble.
Bubble?
Yeah. You know, I combed half of Oakdale looking for you. I can't believe you're really here.
I'm not.
Dear Annie, I feel strange writing after the way I hung up on you this morning. But I just couldn't leave Chicago without saying some sort of goodbye. When I realized on the phone that after all the time we spent together last night, you didn't even remember me, well, it hurt. But I guess I got no right to feel that way. We met only by chance, and it made it clear you were still really hurting from what happened with Julie. In fact, I guess you don't remember this either. But at one point last night, when you should have been thinking only of me, you called out her name. That was even worse than me not remembering me at all. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, even though we'll never see each other again, I think you're a really special guy. Too special to be drinking and throwing your life away over a girl like this Julie. I know this is a rough time for you, and I wish I could have been the one to help you through it. But since that's not in the cards, I just want you to know that even though you don't remember me, I'll never forget you or the night we had together. Wishing you the best always, your friend from Chicago.
Is she? Why don't I remember her? Who is she? Well,
You know, honey, seeing Hal so upset and worried, it just kept making me think what you must have been going through when I ran away to Greece.
Well, the situation was a little different. You ran away because you were carrying Hal's baby. Barbara ran away because they had an argument which could have probably been solved if she had just stayed around.
Yeah, but running away doesn't solve anything. And she loves Hal so much.
Yeah, she does, Paul, too. That's why I think she'll be back in a couple of days.
I'm just so glad that you went against my wishes and came to that little island where Adam was born and found me.
Yeah? Me too. Hello. Barbara, we've been worried sick about you. Where are you?
Well, that's not really important. Listen, is Margot there? I really need to talk to her.
Yes, here. Hold on a second. She wants to talk to you.
Barbara, where are you? What's...
Please, Margot, don't ask me any questions. Just listen to me, okay? Now, I know how much influence you have over Hal.
Barbara, you don't understand what...
I want you to use that influence to tell him not to look for me. I don't want him to try to find me.
Barbara, would you just listen to me?
Please, Margot, you of all people must understand what I am going through right now. Tell him I don't want him to find me.
Barbara, that isn't the way Hal feels at all. Your marriage is not over. Barbara.
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of these CBS stations. Shearling by Cyril. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.